Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
It feels like some time has gone by. We're on the summer schedule, but today we are in conversation with Nanaimo Mayor John Ruttan. On today's show, staying safe in local rivers, exhibition lineup for this weekend, and alpine hiking at Whistler Blackcomb. That and more in the next 30 minutes. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are in conversation with Nanaimo Mayor John Ruttan to recap some of the occurrences that took place at Nanaimo City Council on August the 12th. With a record-long stretch of dry, hot weather, many of us are heading to our local rivers and lakes to cool down. What starts out as a day of summer fun can turn tragic. A Qualicum Beach teen lost his life this past weekend at Little Qualicum Falls. His marked the 42nd drowning death in British Columbia so far this year, more than double the same period last year. With some tips on how to be safe at the rivers, here's Kelly Robinson. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. One of the things that came up for discussion at Monday, August 12th Nanaimo City Council meeting was a survey that was done on the citizen satisfaction here in the Harbour City. And it's an annual survey that takes place.
By Ipsos Reid.
Okay, one of the things that struck me was that the negative comments about council and staff in 2012 was at 6%. This year it was 26%. Or 8% and 26%. That's quite a jump. And does that alarm you?
Sure it does. You know, it's concerning, and I think there's a number of reasons for why that is, and we've had such a huge impact with the issues surrounding the Colliery Dam, and council's working through it, council and staff. And anytime you get angst or misgivings on some of the proceedings as we go ahead, it does create concern, and that's reflected in how they voted. Mm-hmm. But you know, without discrediting the report in any way, remember that we're talking about a survey that was conducted on 300 people. 300 people, and I would have liked a bigger cross-section. I would like to have seen more people involved.
Mm-hmm. Why only 300 people?
Well, the challenge with Ipsos Reid, this is the way they've done it traditionally, and what they're saying is if you want to use comparative results with other communities in the interior, Kelowna, Kamloops, Penticton, Prince George, and so on, you have to use the same formula. If you change the formula, and that's been suggested, but then comparisons don't work. So it's a cart and a horse. And I just feel that 300 people is really about as small a cross-section as you can get.
And we're told that those are random people. They're not all North End or South End or any one particular demographic.
Right, that's true.
How do we compare to our colleagues in municipalities?
I think we compare very well. I think the most important thing to recognize is that the report really hasn't changed significantly other than the issue that you raised. I think 93% of the people in Nanaimo rate the quality of life as good or very good. And significant to me is the fact that last year some 35% rated Nanaimo, the quality of life in Nanaimo as very good, and this time 40%, up 5%, have rated it as very good. So that's significant.
Excellent. I think one of the things that might contribute to the quality of life here in the Harbour City are many of the events that take place. There's a big one coming up this weekend, the Vancouver Island exhibition. Derek Johnstone now has a look at the entertainment lineup. The Vancouver Island exhibition in Nanaimo takes place this weekend, beginning on Friday, August the 16th, running through until Sunday the 18th. And you can visit vix.ca for full entertainment lineup. And Go Island will be hosting from the exhibition later this week. You can catch that on Friday and Saturday right here on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Still to come today on Go Island, sharing the road with cyclists, motorists, use caution, and hiking at Whistler Blackcomb. That and more still to come today on Go. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. One of the items on the agenda at the Nanaimo City Council meeting of August the 12th was a waste-to-energy facility proposed for Duke Point. Now, it's a very complicated, very deep, very technical issue on what, first of all, is that facility, what does it mean for the area, and then all of the legal and process elements behind the scenes as to whether it will or won't go forward. But to oversimplify it, and what many citizens might be hearing in their mind is Vancouver's going to come and dump their garbage at Duke Point and burn it. And how is that even an option, and why can't we just say no at this point? And that's oversimplified, of course, but.
Well, you know, first of all, we have to remember that there are some 10 companies that are looking at this proposal, not just simply one. And there are a large number of sites they've identified as potential sites on Vancouver Island, and certainly Cedar's one, as well as areas of the Lower Mainland. There are communities that are prepared to take it right now, but they are quite a distance away for service, which makes it a challenge financially. So it's not that Nanaimo has been selected, and I think so we have to really be aware that there's a lot of work that has to be done before we make that decision. But that said, I think we have to recognize that particularly the residents of Cedar are very strongly opposed to this, and they are not willing at this point, in my opinion, to accept the company's explanation that the process is safe, there will be no odor, there'll be no fly ash or any type of environmental impact from this. They also claim that it's in areas like Paris and Vienna and areas in Holland where they have this process, where it's successful, and it's in the right in the downtown core. And you don't hear about it. I'm told that there's one in Burnaby now that uses the very same process. It's been there for quite some time, and there's been no complaints about that. So the process may be safe, and I think the real problem is that the companies involved, and the one particular one that's trying to isolate this site, has not done a good enough job, in my opinion, on trying to explain to the public exactly what they want to do, how they want to go about it, and what are the ramifications and the impacts of it.
And you're not decided either way. You're in the information gathering stage.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I want to be open to this thing. I mean, if it does work, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Getting rid of burning refuse and hydrogeneration is so important, and we need that on the island here. But at what cost? I mean, that's my concern. I want to hear from the people that want to do it, want to provide this facility in Nanaimo, and I also have heard a lot already from people that are very much opposed to it. And it's now a matter of trying to flesh out the truth in it. What will it do for us? What will it cost?
And zoning plays a big part, because the land out at Duke Point is currently zoned for this type of activity. I-4. And you can't just go in and change the zoning. You get in a lot of trouble for that. So there's someone looking for land that has this zoning, and they want to purchase it.
Right.
And you can't say, no, not for that.
It's kind of a punitive thing that, I mean, if it's correctly zoned for what they want to build, and then immediately you find what it is and you're not comfortable with it, and then you say, well, let's quickly change the zone and stop them, that may open the door to litigation, and court costs this day of age are very, very expensive. So we're trying to be proactive and look at all the options and try to make an informed decision on how we're going to move ahead.
What's our time frame? If the public is out there looking for more information to help them decide whether they're in favor or against, how much time have we got?
Well, it's a few months to go yet before any hard decisions are made, and it may even be longer than that, because it's a big thing and it's going to take time. So we're cognizant of the fact that there's a lot of angst in the community, and for my part, I want to make sure that I am aware of all the facts before it comes to vote, so I can make an informed decision.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to come back and talk about another topic on the discussion at the August 12th Nanaimo City Council meeting, InterMunicipal business licenses. We'll find out what that entails and how Nanaimo is participating later on this edition of Go Island. But first, we're throwing things over to Melissa Hall at some summer driving tips. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. InterMunicipal business licenses. It was decided at City Council here in Nanaimo on Monday, August 12th, to move forward with this idea. What is that idea? What does that mean?
Well, basically, it's of interest to a business that does work in other areas within our zone. And so, for example, if you had a plumbing business and you were doing business in Port Alberni and Courtenay, and well, Courtenay's outside the zone right now, but Parksville and Ladysmith and so on, you're obliged to buy a business license in all those areas, and that could be upwards of $1,000 if you had one for every community you work in. However, with this new municipal
Business licensing.
The municipal business license that we're working on. Thank you. That'll make a huge savings for the people that are doing it. You really have to be doing business in all these areas to benefit from it.
Right.
So whoever sells it basically keeps the money. So and the community that sells it have to buy their own. So example, if you're in Ladysmith, you have to buy a business license in Ladysmith if you're a resident there. If you're doing work outside, you now can buy one license that'll cover a very broad area.
At the same time that you buy your Ladysmith
Exactly.
license.
So you have the convenience of knowing that you can go into these areas without having to worry about being ticketed for not having a business license.
And this is sort of following in Victoria's footsteps.
Yeah,
they
Victoria
have
did it
14 different
first.
municipalities in the
That's
Greater
right.
Victoria area.
And they've all got together and said, listen, let's have a blanket coverage for the whole area, and that's what they've done. So this intermunicipal licensing is a very, very good concept and one that city supports. And I think we're just waiting for, I think Ladysmith has already approved it, Duncan has approved it, Nanaimo probably will be third, and I think the others will follow suit very quickly.
And there's a bylaw being brought in that you'll vote
this point
on
that we'll
at
vote on.
upcoming meetings. Excellent, thank you.
Okay.
We're going to throw things over now to Jose Arujo in Port Alberni for a look at the local music scene that's not unlike here or any other community where local musicians are performing at gigs. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're going to head over to the mainland now for a road trip. It's some alpine hiking on Mount Washington and Blackcomb. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. We've been in conversation with Nanaimo Mayor John Ruttan. It's something that we do after every regularly scheduled city council meeting. There's been a bit of a hiatus lately because of stat holidays and summer times. And a reminder that you can catch full coverage of city council right here on Shaw TV live as it happens. And the city also web streams the council coverage, and it's there for future reference on their website as well, as are these editions of Go Island. Thanks for watching Go. We'll see you next time.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kait's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Matteo Salon.